Is it niche or niche? Because everybody I talk to has a different opinion if it's niche or niche. In today's video, I'm going to talk about it as if it's pronounced niche, and maybe I expose my complete inexperience with pronouncing this word, but I won't get after you if you pronounce it different than me, or if maybe it's a niche. That's another like potential way. I'd really like to know in the comments actually, do you pronounce it niche, niche, or niche? All right, today we are talking about micro niches, micro niches, micro niche, a micro niche website. So if you are thinking about starting a website, or maybe you are thinking about buying a website, you may see this, chatter out there about micro niches or micro niches, or a website focused on a micro niche. And you think, well, what is that? So let's talk about it. A niche site, a niche site is really just another way to say a website that is focused on a specific topic. So you might see, like Google News, for example. On Google News, they cover everything, like everything under the sun, like whatever counts as news. The general topic is news. So I guess you could call that the site's niche. It's news is the niche, and compare that to a website like Wikipedia, which I guess is also a niche because it's about information. But niche, we generally think of a niche site as something that is more specific than a site that is very general and that might cover everything. And a micro niche site is a website about a specific topic within that specific topic. So really getting down to something that's very, very, very specific within another topic. So for example, if we say that our niche is baseball, so you could have a website that was just in general about baseball. This is not general, it's specific to baseball, and that still could cover a lot of aspects of baseball, because you have training, you have products, you have instructions, you have coaching. I mean, there's so many things you could talk about in baseball. And then a micro niche within baseball could be niching down to focus on baseball gloves, or hitting skills, or even caring for the baseball field, like the dirt in the baseball diamond, if you have dirt, or the grass, or something very, very specific. You may even see people who are building micro niche sites that just focus on one keyword, just one keyword, and their whole entire site is just about that one specific aspect. And generally we see micro niche sites tend to be smaller, so they're not going to have thousands of articles or even hundreds of articles. I mean, generally you might see as few as 2 or 3 articles, and maybe as many as 20. But these are generally smaller sites. Now, why would you create a micro niche site? Websites in general, when you're just blogging or you're just creating articles, are very cheap to build, right? You generally don't have to pay much for hosting. And if you already have a hosting account and you already have room for that additional website, like I have SiteGround, for example, and once I pay for the level of SiteGround that allows me to add unlimited sites, like it doesn't cost me extra to have more websites. So there's very low investment once I'm already in that plan. And then you're just buying a domain name and really your time, unless you're going to invest money in the content or in the images or something else like the logo and or the design of the WordPress site. But in general, a niche site, it doesn't cost hardly anything to start. And then historically, it was easy to rank for the keywords, because if you really focused your site on that very specific topic, you could get traffic to those long tail keywords and build authority really quickly. And another reason that people really were focused on building niche sites is that you might have a lot less traffic to the site because it's on a very small topic, but the people who visited the site were very, very, very interested. You might say that the traffic was warm to hot. And if you know much about what we call traffic in, I guess, marketing, there's cold traffic is people who come in like completely uninformed and completely closed off to the idea of using this website to maybe solve a problem. Their wallet is firmly in their pocket. They are not thinking about spending money. They are just there to learn. But people who visit micro niche sites tend to be warm to hot type traffic. So they they only end up on a micro niche site because there's something very specific that they want to know about, or maybe they have a very specific problem and it's bugging them enough to go and search in a very specific site for it. So these are people who tend to be already a bit educated about the topic, and they are oftentimes feeling much more prepared to pull out their wallets to spend money to solve their problem. So there was a lot of money to be made in micro niche sites because the traffic, even though it was smaller amounts, tended to be hotter and tended to be easier to monetize. Micro niches are also easy for creators to create because you're really focused on one particular topic. So, there's a beginning and an end essentially to the project, right? You set up your list of 10 to 20 keywords or 10 to 20 articles that you're going to write. You knock them out and then you set it and forget it. And then you go and start on your next site. So they were really popular for a while for these reasons. But here's the thing. I don't think that micro niches are still really viable. Micro niche websites. Most of the big names who are doing this work, who put out a bunch of content in 2016, 2017, are moving away from micro niche sites because of changes in the Google algorithm and how sites are ranked. So some of the methods that people were using to rank the small micro niche websites, is even things like exact match to the domain, of the domain to the keyword, more keyword stuffing, or just making the content all really focused on one particular area, actually can hurt a website now, because some of the content becomes very duplicative, and that's not really very good for the building of your website. The focus in general seems to be shifting to larger websites that have a lot more topics, that tend to be more general and a lot more articles. You can attract a lot more links to the site. You can get a lot more keywords to the site that still make sense. And I also think that people are getting more savvy to the fact that a lot of these micro niche sites were there to sell things, right? They are supposed to, originally they were supposed to appear as an authority on the topic so that people would go there and feel comfortable about the site, and then that's what would encourage them to spend money. But now, just because of the proliferation, there's a big word, just because there are so many of them, and so many of them are, I think, done really, I don't want to say poorly, but really focused on making the money rather than on helping the customer. People tend to think of domains that say things like bestrowingmachine.com. They look at that, and that's not a site that is trustworthy to them. They say bestrowingmachine.com. That's somebody who's trying to sell me something. I don't feel comfortable on the site. I'm going to look for a site that looks like more of an authority, and naming your site, the exact keyword that somebody is searching for, it might get them there, but it doesn't necessarily convert them anymore because it just looks so spammy. People will continue to use micro niche sites to test out traffic potentially, or the viability of a niche. Like, you create a site just on one particular micro topic and you can get lots of traffic to it. That might be a good reason to fold in that topic and that content into your bigger site. So for micro niches, as a beginner, would I recommend that you focus on building micro niche websites? The answer is no. I don't think that I would. I think that the trend and the flow of basically what the experts are doing and what we're seeing as far as what Google likes, if you're focusing on organic traffic, is to build larger websites that have a lot more content over a broad area. I mean, not too broad, but still, getting away from having just focused on best blenders, or best chicken recipes. You want to get away from very, 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 very specific sites, and frankly, it will allow you also to continue to use that site over time when you get tired of writing about chicken recipes. If you have a website that's named Best Chicken Recipes, there is zero chance that you will be able to credibly change the topic of that website to bicycling in Indonesia. Like, that's just not going to make sense. It's just not going to fly. It's not going to work. Now, would I recommend that you purchase a micro niche website? And this is a greater, this is something to think about a little more. And I think what we have to do is apply basically everything that we know already about what makes a good income producing website purchase. Is the website brand new? If it is, no way. Is the website established? Is the website stable? Has the website weathered the storms of the various changes in the Google algorithm? Has the website continued to produce stable income over time? You say, oh, is there big fluctuations and what is it doing, or is it stable? Does this website, would it, if it continued to produce the income that it is, could you make your money back within 12 months? I doubt that I would go in and drop all of my money on a micro niche website unless it had all of the factors that I would be looking for in a really great website purchase. But even then, I would still hesitate unless the income was sufficient to where I could recover my money fairly quickly. And if I didn't think that I could recover my money fairly quickly, then I'm not sure that I would be that interested in something that was niched down so far onto something that could easily be just killed by a change in Google. So I hesitate to say yes or no because I would want to see the website. I would want to see the history of it. I would want to see the content and how high quality of content there is, and also whether or not there was room in that website already to build it to incorporate other topics. Maybe it's a website that's named kitchenmaster.com and it was only focused on cheese graters, but with a name like chickenmaster.com or cheesemaster.com or whatever, kitchenmaster.com, there's room in it to grow and create other content to grow it out. But if the website topic is chickens on bicycles, maybe not. So anyway, this is the micro niche discussion. If you have any thoughts or comments about micro niches, or you still want to know more about what they are or whether or not this is something you should jump into, please do me the favor of leaving me a comment. Leave your question. Let me know what it is you're thinking or what it is you're worried about or what it is you want to know. I love creating videos around people who have questions and that could actually help them build their online businesses. So as always, all the social stuff, please like, share, comment, subscribe. I love to produce content around these topics. I'll see you in the next video.